So an investigation by Pablo Torre
This Kawhi Leonard scandal is crazy.
Paid Kawhi Leonard $28 million to play for them. It looks like the Clips went around the salary cap because their owner is the richest dude in sports. I mean, what's the point of having $150 billion if I can't even spend it? Gotta play by the rules? Well, they may have found a way to get around that. But if this is all true, then the Clippers would be screwed. I mean, the last time that something like this happened was 1999.
5 first-round picks,
the
the
Timberwolves
Wolves.
paid a player under the table. When the NBA found out, they took away 5 first-round draft picks and voided that player's contract. That means the NBA could investigate the Clips and be like, oh yeah, Kawhi, you're not on the Clippers anymore, buddy. That means Kawhi could suddenly play for any other team in the NBA in the next few months. That would change the entire season. And they take away draft picks for the Wolves.
Bro, I don't think that would happen. I think they would just outright ban him for like a year.
Wolves in 99. This
because Kawhi's not innocent. He's not some 34-year-old kid.
Crushed.
But people treat Kawhi like he's some kind of kid and like he doesn't know anything. Bro, he's 34 years old.
What the Clippers may have done is even worse. Can you imagine if the NBA basically announces the death penalty here? And what would that look like? Well, it turns out the new CBA just rewrote the punishment for breaking salary cap rules like this.
I saw
we'll
this.
break it down, but you have to watch this investigation by Pablo Torre. Link in the description. But I will summarize what he found because it's insane. So there was a climate change company called Aspiration that turned out to be a huge fake, okay? Their co-founder was arrested for lying to investors, defrauding them for hundreds of millions of dollars. One employee says that they claimed to plant trees for the environment, but they never actually checked to see if any of those trees were real. Oh, but they did pay a lot of celebrities to endorse them.
No. Sorry. There's this Kawhi. Okay, let's find a post. Look at this. This is not it. This is not from Expire. This is from Giants of Africa. Kawhi did plant trees, by the way. He did plant trees, but not for Expire though.
Like Drake and Robert Downey Jr., but their biggest contract was for Kawhi Leonard. He got $28 million to endorse Aspiration.
It's $48 billion now. 28 million in cash and 20 million in stock.
But there is zero evidence that Kawhi has ever mentioned them at all. Like, not even a tweet or a like. Oh, wait, there is this one tweet from the Clippers wishing Kawhi happy birthday, brought to you by
I saw this as well. I saw this on Twitter before.
It brings you to this page with 38 followers. What's going on? But he still gets that $28 million check for endorsing. Why? Well, you might remember in 2019, when Kawhi was a free agent, his uncle Dennis was heavily involved and it was shady.
Bro, they asked for so much. This is what happened. Uncle Dennis made outrageous demands that the Raptors would not have the means to meet or nor fulfill. He asked for basically stake in the Maple Leafs, and here as well. And that's the Lakers. They asked the Lakers. Jeannie Buss would not accept Kawhi's proposal. Like whatever Kawhi and Uncle Dennis wanted, Jeannie Buss was like, nah. And also this, while Kawhi was still in the Raptors, Lawrence Frank was scouting Kawhi on the bench when Kawhi was still on the Raptors.
Teams reported that Dennis demanded part ownership of the team, a private plane that would be available at all times, a house, and a guaranteed amount of off-court endorsement money that they could expect if Leonard played for their team. Oh, really? And when Kawhi signed with the Clips, other teams were like, the Clippers? I guarantee Steve Ballmer met some of those demands. But the NBA investigated and found no evidence indicating that the Clippers had granted any of those lavish requests. But the underlying message from the commissioner, Adam Silver, remains. He sees salary cap circumvention as a cardinal sin in the NBA, and if any relevant evidence of improper benefit surfaces in the future, the league will reopen the investigation without a suspension for
which is today. I'm just saying, I think Jalen Brunson's a little bit shady. The Knicks deal, he gave up $100 million, and it just so happens that his dad, his agent, Leon Rose, like... I don't want to say again that. James Harden as well. James Harden from Philly. That's pretty shady to me as well.
Draft picks or even the voiding of player contracts. So it sounds like Adam Silver has a decision to make. Is he going to come down hard on the Clips and Kawhi? Or is he going to be the soft player commissioner that people say he is? Unlike David Stern. Well, salary cap circumvention is actually really
David Stern was sent to Clippers to the shadow realm.
The Clippers and Ballmer say this is all false and they can prove it. But this next part is going to be really hard for them to explain. If there was ever a smoking gun in this scandal, this is it. In Kawhi's contract with Aspiration, it basically says that He doesn't have to endorse him at all if it conflicts
Unless
with his
he's a
beliefs,
Clipper.
whatever that means. So Kawhi really calls the shots here, except for one thing. His $28 million contract will be voided if he does this one thing. If Leonard is no longer an employee of the team for any reason, is a member of another NBA organization, or has retired, either of those instances shall qualify as a triggering event for the termination by the company.
Man.
So basically,
this guy's so good. He knows,
we will
like,
pay you
bro, all the stuff that I found out, like, he's putting in his video as well.
$28 million if you play for the Clippers. How much more obvious can this get? But this is
No,
just
that's not, like,
aspiration
I saw
some
before.
company, not Steve Ballmer. Except that Steve Ballmer did huge big money deals with aspiration, including investments, an arena deal
million.
with Intuit Dome. But Ballmer personally invested $50 million through his LLC. And 7 former employees told Pablo Torre, Ballmer's investment is what allowed Aspiration to pay Kawhi the $28 million. Wow. So it really looks like Steve Ballmer paid Kawhi a huge bonus through a company in secret to try to get around the salary
updated
cap.
news.
But what did Kawhi do for him in return?
old.
Well, it turns out that $28 million was not part of Kawhi's first deal with the Clips. That would have been too obvious. It was part of his second deal. That second deal extension was for 4 years, $176 million, considered team.
I think that this deal was in place back in 2019. I just think so. It was in place just so that because I'm sure Kawhi and Steve Ballmer knew that they would get a lot of press in 2019 when he first signed it, so I'm sure they had this deal in place
Then
already.
he did another team-friendly deal, taking less than the max last year. But why would a guy with Kawhi's injury issues ever do a team-friendly deal? Well, now we know why. But, like I said, there are a lot more interesting details here to this investigation, so I recommend that you watch the full thing by Pablo Torre. But what does this mean for the Clippers going forward?
Pablo unveiled the Malik Beasley story as well. He did a video on the Malik Beasley as well.
Well, right now, they have 2 timelines going on the court. The first one is like Kawhi, James Harden, Bradley Beal. They go like 10 or 11 guys deep to win now. They have one of the best off seasons in the NBA. And at the same time,
Clippers are still good, man.
Their
Even
books
for
are
Kawhi.
clear to sign a big free agent, just restart, have a new era. This is one of the best times in Clippers history, with a good roster now, a solid plan in the future, and a great coach.
This guy, I saw this video. There's a new video.
The NBA is now investigating the Clippers, and they are scrambling. Steve Ballmer just went on ESPN to try to defend himself. So did the Clips pay Kawhi through a company called Aspiration to get around the salary cap? Because if they did, it could ruin the Clippers.
Steve Ballmer in ESPN video was like, I don't know nothing.
Reporter even says Steve Ballmer could be forced to sell the team.
No, that's not happening.
The story just got a hold.
Sorry. Steve Ballmer is so rich. You guys don't understand. You think like NBA owners are rich? All the other 29 NBA owners combined is not as rich as Steve Ballmer.
Whole lot worse, because Pablo found out Kawhi got $28 million in cash for doing nothing. But now an outlet called Boston Sports Journal says, according to a high-level source, Leonard also cut a side deal to receive $20 million in company stock that brought the total of
$48 million, and then $2 million, I guess, for commission fee for doing this deal, or give to
compensation to Leonard to $48 million, almost the exact amount Steve Ballmer put in. So dude pays Aspiration $50 million, they send it to Kawhi. Obvious. But unfortunately, there is one little detail that could save Kawhi and the Clips from any punishment. But I am watching. Be clear, the Clippers obviously went around the salary cap and broke rules, should be punished, but there is a good chance they get away. Why? Well,
okay, there's no way Steve Ballmer is gonna get in trouble. The ESPN is running like a whole campaign to like boost up Steve Ballmer for the entire day. I'm saying some Clippers employee is gonna take the fall. Uncle Dennis might, I don't know.
On my last video, I said that the CBA changed the rules on salary cap circumvention, but I want to amend that. Turns out Article 8, Section 1 covers general prohibitions. Punishment is one draft pick.
They changed it.
But I didn't see Section 2, unauthorized agreements. There it says the NBA can take away all the picks, so this is serious. But still, what can the NBA prove? Well, Pablo found Kawhi got $28 million in cash to endorse Aspiration unless it conflicts with his beliefs, whatever that means. So he didn't take a single photo, shoot a commercial, nothing. But the one thing they did care about was him playing for the Clippers. A clause gave Aspiration the right to terminate the contract if Leonard is no longer an employee of the Clippers for any reason. Also, an ex-employee said, even when they were going bankrupt, priority
was to pay Kawhi.
Number one was sending
pick Kawhi.
Kawhi his check. Guilty! But what about the timeline? People said, oh, this is why Kawhi chose the Clippers over the Lakers and the Raptors. But actually, Kawhi signed in 2019. The aspiration deal happened in 2021. But Ballmer ain't that.
Kawhi resigned a month before Steve Ballmer gave aspiration the 50 mil.
There were stories about Uncle Dennis looking for sketchy deals. So the Clippers would have been stupid to do this in 2019. They had to smartly wait until the heat died down. So the timeline actually makes sense. In August 2021, Ballmer wires aspiration $50 million. Then the Clippers and aspiration announce a $300 million partnership. And just a month later, Kawhi suspiciously signs a 4-year team-friendly contract. How convenient. And we all know this because aspiration then went bankrupt and all the details came out. But while everyone is digging the Clippers' grave, former Mavericks owner Mark Cuban randomly
he was defending Steve Ballmer on Twitter.
Said this.
Bro, I feel like Mark Cuban has a lot of shady deals as well. The Dirk was taking contract discounts for years with the Mavs.
I'm
on team Lakers and Rockets offered him a huge deal, but then
Dirk Steve isn't that dumb. If he did try to feed Kawhi money, knowing what was at stake for him personally and his team, do you think he'd let the company go bankrupt?
Bro, on ESPN, Steve Ballmer was like, I'm just some goofy idiot. I don't know anything, I'm goofy idiot. I was like, what?
No, all creditors would be visible to the world. Yeah, Mark.
Which one is it?
Because
is
the
he stupid or smart?
Trail, unfortunately, proves nothing. And look, I hate to say this, because obviously the Clippers broke the rules, but Ballmer's chilling. I mean, do you think that he's going to bail out a scam company for hundreds of millions of dollars? Maybe if he thought that this could take him down, but he knows it won't. First of all, it is common for a
Steve Ballmer can buy out the NBA. No, I think he can buy it. Like, he can afford to buy the entire NBA. That's how rich he is.
Player to be sponsored by the same company who sponsors his team. For example,
Steve Ballmer isn't going to be forced to sell
got a deal
team.
with Crypto.com, who sponsors the Lakers arena. Steph works with Chase, the Dubs arena sponsor. Giannis and BMO, Anthony Edwards and Aura. Even in football with Patrick Mahomes. So Kawhi being sponsored by aspiration proves nothing. Oh, it is shady, but that's it. And all Kawhi had to do to cover his tracks was
make one commercial, something, but nah. Why, Mr. Do Nothing, bro? This guy has a dream job. Do nothing, get paid.
A couple photos, make a commercial, but for some reason he did nothing. Stupid. But you cannot punish someone for being stupid. In fact, The Athletic pushed Pablo Torre on this. They said, Pablo, great report. But what is the worst piece of evidence that you found?
Literally the fact that we had 7 sources, including one on tape, saying we were told it was to circumvent the salary cap. What we do not have is Steve Ballmer putting into an email, this was to circumvent the salary cap, period, send. I would say that that would be shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting that. Bro, fans want, like, okay, sure. People that don't believe that people that don't believe that the Clippers did this to avoid the salary cap is crazy. Like, do they want video of Steve Ballmer giving $50 million in cash under the table to Kawhi Leonard? Like, an actual giving under the table or thing.
That would be so dumb. No one would ever do that. I mean, it'd be crazy to expect to find that in writing. But actually, the comp everybody makes here is the Joe Smith Timberwolves scandal, where the Timberwolves got wrecked by the league. But they were stupid enough to put their whole scheme in writing. The NBA investigator found a secret written agreement between the Wolves and Joe Smith. It said they would pay him a future contract worth up to $86 million if he signed cheap deals between 99 and 01 to preserve cap space. So yeah, it would be shocking if Steve Ballmer wrote this in an email like Joe Smith, but he didn't. And dude learned this a long time ago. In 2015, Ballmer put it in writing.
Oh yeah, DeAndre Jordan one.
That they would hook
2015,
up DeAndre Jordan with a Lexus deal to pay him $200K per year on the side. Well, the NBA found that and docked him $250,000. So from that day
this is not his first rodeo.
Ballmer is going to put Kawhi's deal in writing? No. And that's why the NBA was able to come down that hard on the Timberwolves back in the day. Unfortunately, all we have here is an ex-employee saying this.
We also have a deal with Kawhi Leonard. If I had any questions about it, don't, because it was to circumvent the salary cap. LOL. There was lots of LOL when things were shared.
Yeah, that's bad. Obviously, the Clippers did this. I'm not saying they didn't, but
Bro, I'm sure that employee is easy to identify just by their
you can't
tone of
prove
voice.
anything based
tone of
on
voice.
that. All this proves
just
is
the way
that
they're speaking.
aspiration was run by stupid, scammy people who decided to pay Kawhi a shady deal. And we already knew that. They're a bunch of scammers. And that's exactly what Steve Ballmer just told ESPN
Bro, they're running with that story. Yeah.
to defend himself.
Oh, wait, I just remember Gilbert Arenas said this months ago. Let me find
Borrow
it.
some money. What do white people do? Borrow some shit. Hey, let me borrow like $10 billion real quick. I need to pay some of these people under the table. Like, are y'all not trying to be real owners? If I'm Ballmer, I don't give a what that.
I remember this video from like months
I
ago.
don't care what it says. I am cheating. I got too much money to be on the same playing field with you broke ass. We're not in the same conference, sir. Right? You want 50 million? I'm gonna give you 45 on the. I'm gonna give you 5 on the books because I gotta force somebody else. 5 on the books, 45 under the table. Behind the scenes, don't even worry about it. I got you. You got a foundation? I got that. You got business deals? I got that. You want a percentage in what? I got that. Just go ahead and sign that. You too? How the all these people keep getting here? This motherfucker got the USA basketball team and his. 2 of these motherfuckers own buildings downtown. How? There's gonna be investigations after investigations. Yeah. It's not like the NBA want to catch me anyway. They work for me. Huh? Adam Silver, what you want? Huh? I think this investigation says you ain't found. You want to too? Here's a check says you ain't found. What you talking about?
Bro, Steve Ballmer.
I don't know why they did what they did, and frankly, any speculation
rich,
would
man.
be crazy.
It's not
These are
it's on
guys
another level.
who committed fraud.
Compared to other owners.
How would I be able? Look, they conned me at this stage. I have no ability to predict why they might have done anything they did.
Yep, the same Mark Cuban
I
theory.
don't know
It's what he's
anything.
going to tell the NBA when they ask, and as long as they can't prove it like they did with Joe Smith in writing, it's his word against Pablo's. I mean, yeah, it's weird that they gave Kawhi all that money to do nothing, but I don't control what they do. Plus, those guys are scammers. Who knows why they did anything? Oh, but
Why would aspiration just give away $48 million to Kawhi for no reason?
what happens if Adam Silver is like, yeah, I don't care what we can prove. Obviously, you broke the rules. We are coming down hard. Well, Steve Ballmer is worth $150 billion.
As I said, you ain't doing shit to him.
And he will sue them. And do you think the other 29 owners want their business then to all come out and
other teams are doing it as well, man.
open court?
100%.
Pablo already said he is getting tips about Jalen Brunson's deal in New York.
That's what I said before in the
Brunson
video.
signed maybe the most team-friendly deal of all time. Dude left potentially $113
His dad, his godfather,
million bucks
bro,
on the
his whole family's on a team, man.
table to help the Knicks. Why? Was a shady deal agreed upon there too? What other deals are out there that we don't know about? So as much as I hate to say this,
James
even
Harden,
though it is so
Philly.
obvious that the Clippers were scamming the NBA, unless they
I'll
can
never trust
prove
Daryl
it
Morey
like
again.
they did with Joe Smith, I don't think LA gets anything like a serious punishment. And I want to be clear because I know I'm going to get a lot of hate in the comments. Yes, obviously, the Clippers did the wrong thing. They broke the rules. They should be punished. But you can't prove anything. Even Pablo said it himself. The most they have is that an ex-anonymous employee said they were circumventing the salary cap, LOL, okay? And that Aspiration and Steve Ballmer were in business together. Again, like, it's shady, it's obvious, but it doesn't prove anything. Maybe they get a little fine, and maybe there's a new rule that players can't be sponsored by a company that also sponsors their team, but the death penalty, not gonna happen. But we do know that Kawhi is not gonna be repping Team USA in 2020.
Bro, if the Clippers get away with this is gonna be crazy, man. Bro.